Welcome back, everyone, to For the Love of Gaming Charity Speedrun Marathon. We just had an amazing Delta Ruin speedrun race, and it's mind-blowing. But coming back for one last little dose of horror, we have Balveda with Not a Hero, RE7.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Yes, I am BalvedaVex. This is going to be the Resident Evil 7 Not a Hero. It's the free canonical DLC for Resident Evil 7. Basically just continues the story after the main game concludes. And yeah, so if we're ready, I'll go ahead and just get right into it. And yeah.
Count me in.
So basically, once I hit continue, a cutscene will start. We skip that cutscene. As soon as I skip this cutscene, the timer will start. So the timer starts in about 3, 2, now. And basically, the way this run works, the first half of it is really just going from point A to point B, collecting things. There's kind of a lot of downtime, so we'll be able to kind of explain the storyline and all that. So basically what's going on, anyone who's familiar with the main game, this takes place afterwards when Chris has gotten Ethan and Mia to safety, and now him and his team, they're actually already on their way here. Right there we just saw 3 pictures of some soldier-looking guys. Those are the Bravo squad. They were actually already sent in investigating Lucas. They went missing, so Chris and his boys were on their way in to try to figure out what happened. And they just happened to be there for the tail end of what happened in RE7. So this is us now basically just tracking down Lucas, trying to save Bravo squad, which here's one of them. And so we'll see how this goes.
It's too late. We're both walking out of here. I got news for you.
And yeah, like I said, this the first half of this run is kind of really just going from point A to point B. You're basically going to location A to get item 1, to go to location B to get item 2, and so on and so forth. So if we do get any donations or anything like that, feel free to cut me off, and that way we can get them read. Once we get to the last half of the run, that's when things really start getting going. But yeah, still a pretty fun run. I definitely enjoy it. And right there, you may have noticed that guy's head was supposed to explode, but it did not. The reason for that is because we're actually playing on 0D, which is the censored version from Japan. Japan, their censorship laws, they don't actually like dismemberment. So decapitations, limbs getting cut off, etc. gets censored out. And for speedrunning, that actually kind of helps. Main game, there's a couple spots where you actually save time using 0D. For this, there's only one spot. There's a couple spots where you can actually see the censorship, but it doesn't actually give much of a time save. This one, there's one spot coming up fairly soon. And so basically, we wanted to move these 2 documents, just get them out of the way. We're going to pick up 2 items. First item will go here, second item will go here. We use the second item first, and the inventory remembers where we have the cursor. So we can basically just move the cursor to where we're going to want it to be the next time we open the inventory. And that's pretty much what we do on that elevator. And then this red door actually has kind of an interesting interaction. So we're going to interact with it, crouch. If you watch the door, you'll see the textures change. Right about there. So what actually happened there is this door is actually basically an in-game loading screen. So basically everything on this side of the door was still loading in. And when you're playing casually, you don't usually notice it. But when you're speedrunning, you get to it, you interact with the door, and that makes you wait a couple of seconds before the door actually opens. So the workaround to that, we interact with the door, and we pause, and luckily we get that visual cue of the textures changing, and that tells us that this area is finished loading. And then if we unpause, the door is going to just magically open right away. And we crouch because then we can kind of duck under the door rather than waiting for it to fully open. And right there, we just got the crank handle. Now we get the gear. And we're going to interact. Oh, a little bit closer to actually interact. There we go. Those molded think that we're still standing where we were when we first interacted with this, which is why they're going to our left right now. And that gives us time to get this key all the way down. That way we can grab that. And now we just head back for the elevator. And we get to go try to rescue our buddy down here. You may or may not have noticed, we kind of brushed right past him. But when we were running to the elevator the first time, there was a cell to our left. We just had to go up, and we just got the key to that cell. So now we get to come in here and try to rescue our buddy. And this is actually where the time save for Sarah D is going to come into play. Because normally, you talk to this guy, there's supposed to be like a basically homemade circular saw blade that comes out, chops his head off, and then you basically pick up the severed head and take the air filter off of his mask. This Hero D, it's censored, so that doesn't actually happen. So it's just like, you'll see, it's like a little explosion, but his head doesn't actually go anywhere. And this actually saves, oh god, I can't remember exactly how long. It's pretty decent amount of time though. There is one version that's faster. The Korean version is actually faster, but that can only be used on a PC. It's not allowed on console because you basically have to have a Korean social security number to play it on console. But the Korean version, you walk in here, none of this cutscene happens. The air filter is just on the ground for you to grab. And it's a huge time save in the Korean version. Alright, so now that we have the air filter for our mask,
I can't wait to get my hands on that asshole.
now we just have to go through here. We're going to be going through a bunch of spores. Like, there's going to be a bunch of, like, spores floating around the air. That's why we needed the air filter. And basically, now we're going to get the ramrods, which is basically like the enhanced ammo that makes it easier to kill the white mold variants because they have the regenerative health, as well as we need to get the night vision goggles, or not goggles, module. And right there, there's going to be 3 turrets when we're doubling back this way. I mention that now because it's easier. It'll be easier to just reference them a little bit later, now that I've mentioned them the first time. And this part, really just left, right, and right here, it changes it up. Instead of going to the right, we go to the left. And then we go to the right. Then we go to the left again. But now, this door is always a little bit tricky. There we go. Basically, you walk through that door and you're immediately in pitch black. And sometimes you can get caught on the wall without realizing that you are. And that's always unfortunate. But now we have the night vision goggles, or module, and the ramrods. So we just head down this way. To our left, there's actually an elevator that is not powered at the moment, so we have to throw this switch and this middle switch. And that turns on the power to the elevator. And now, you can just come around here. Basically just ignore all of them, call the elevator. You just face into the elevator door and kind of crouch down. And for the most part, they'll leave us alone. It's very rare for us to even get attacked. Of course, there we go. Just because I had to say something, we got attacked. Seems like
That's never
pretty
happened
much
before in the history of Faster, or For the Love of Gaming.
right.
Never happened before.
Everything always goes to plan during marathons, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now, just breeze past this guy. through a couple of turrets. Blast him in the head. And now, if you remember those turrets that I mentioned earlier, this grenade is going to help us with that. So basically we're going to go through this gate, and we'll be back in that hallway. We yeet the grenade. Oh, normally you're supposed to be able to take out those two molded with one shot. You got to take two there, but that's okay. And now we just head for the next little area, because now we just need a key, and we'll be able to start on the second half of the run. It's a very, very quick run. It goes by relatively quickly. We're already almost halfway there. Alright, so now I want to avoid all these little floor traps. Take out that bomb. And this bomb we're actually going to just kind of block. We messed up the block a little bit there, but that's not too bad. Normally we can actually block that and stagger less than we just did, but now we're going to do the same to this guy. Now, this room, we just have to push these three little mine carts. So first, we push the yellow one. There's going to be another headless and armless fat molded coming up on us. There he goes. He just basically ran up and exploded on us. We took a little bit of damage, but it doesn't usually affect us. I'll put us into caution, but we can just kind of heal real quick. Right, like this. And now we're good. Now, we just have to come around here, make it to the center of this room so we can grab the clown key. Oh, right about like that. Now we just ignore all of these molded. Sneak past this one. We're going to unlock the door. Oh, and then shoot the crawler. He wasn't actually supposed to tag us there, but that's okay. Take out these lasers, and now the best room in the game.
Hey, you
this
okay?
little laser room.
Hang on. I'm coming.
Which, this room, there we go, is extremely easy to accidentally die in. If you touch any of those lasers, every single one of those lasers is connected to a bomb, and if you touch any of the lasers, all of the bombs go off. It's instant death in this room if any of the bombs go off.
Hey, you
And
still
you
with us?
can save maybe like a second or so by standing up and running between the lasers, but it's so risky. But
It
It's
is.
worth it for the time.
Oh yeah, it's definitely risky, and I don't think I've ever posted a PB on SRC of this game where I didn't take a death in the bomb room. And it's almost always from those like little spots where you like have to stand up and crouch real quick. Oh, we did not. There we go. Okay, that was a little bit sloppy, but we should be fine. Okay, so now there's going to be a little cutscene. Basically, just Lucas taunting us some more. After our last buddy sadly doesn't make it out.
I don't know about you, Christopher, but I'm getting real tired of playing games.
Now we're gonna take time to switch the Albert out to the Ramrods.
And it ends now.
Well, I don't
Now,
think so.
once this dialogue
It's about to be 4
is
days
over,
of
we can start climbing this ladder, and when we get to the top of the ladder, if you keep an eye on the top left corner, you'll see the auto-save icon right about there. So we just do a quick retry. This gets us off of the ladder and positions us to be lined up with this door. So basically it gets us off of the ladder a little bit faster and just lines us up perfectly with the door, and just kind of nice little minor time saves. Oh, that's not supposed to happen. Can't really do anything. Once it starts, you kind of just have to let it play out. Which makes no sense to me.
The longest attack animation.
Right? And, like, it doesn't make sense to me that Chris can't, like, punch the molded when they're attacking him like that, but...
It's very weird because he goes from RE5 where he can punch a boulder to RE7 where he can't punch anything too well. And then he goes to RE8 where he can punch everything like a boulder again.
Right? And it's all because they just have to, like, keep, like, reworking Chris. Like, that's why I jokingly say that this version of Chris is not the real Chris Redfield. He's Chris's stand-in.
Yeah. This is like Chris the intern.
Right?
That they just hired for Umbrella Blue.
Alright, so now... You might recognize this room. It's where we got the first key. Now we just gotta make our way through these guys. And right over here, there's actually a clown door. Yeah, go through here. And it's basically time for the Mama Molded fight. This is basically the first actual, like, I guess, fight in the game.
The liquid nitrogen is just beyond that room.
So basically, Porter Potty drops down there. We throw a grenade, shoot her in the head while she's coming out of the ground. So basically, that gets her down on her hands and knees. I kind of botched that last grenade, though. But we want all of these to go in her head, if possible. And we did not do it correctly. When done correctly, the last shot goes to her leg and gives you the fast death animation, just like the barn fight in the main game. But it didn't quite work out that way. I think 2, maybe 3 of my shots just barely missed. I have a tendency to get her in the shoulder quite a bit, which is unfortunate.
Shit.
Alright.
You alright, Chris?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
So now,
It's just you and me.
basically at this point, our goal is to get to Lucas, and there's really only one more obstacle between us and him. So we'll go back down this elevator,
Got it.
and we'll fire off a shot from the shotgun for no reason. Other than the fact that I set my controller down for 2 seconds, and it hit a shoulder button.
Casual RNG manipulation.
Yes, that too. Alright. Last use of the clown key. Then, basically, at this point, I always, like, there's a little, like, line in the middle right there. I know if I'm standing so that I can kind of position myself like this, I'm pretty much lined up with exactly where I'm going to want to be. So there's going to be a door, so we're now going to be basically perfectly centered on the door, and when it opens, we can just shoot the wooden box that's going to be in here. Kind of like that. And we'll just grab all of this. And we reload as we pick up the last of the ramrods in this room.
Very impressive, my friend. Very impressive.
Now, we have the grenade ready.
How impressive.
And we throw it now. We wait for these guys to stand up. Then basically, we're just shooting them in the legs so that they fall down, and we can just basically get the headshot on them if they're not already instantly dead. And the reason we do this is because Chris will punch in this room. So like these molded, if you shoot them and they're kind of like stunned and you go to shoot them again, you'll actually go into like a punching animation. and it's kind of slow. You don't want that when you're speedrunning. So, we just stay low, we stay right on top of them, we shoot them in the leg to get them down on the ground. That way we can just shoot them in the head and not worry about the punching animation. Oh, and we are out of shotgun ammo. There we go. Alright, so now we need to make sure we have our incendiary grenade equipped. There's going to be Fat White Molded breaking through here. We're going to shoot him and then throw the incendiary grenade. Oh, they're still molded alive. I was wondering why that was taking so long. Okay, that was painfully slow.
he just did not want to go down.
He really didn't. Like, sometimes you get stuff like that, and it's just very aggravating.
And it's hard to tell because since you're killing all of them so quickly, sometimes the corpses just hide the crawlers.
Right? There we go. Huh. Yeah, sometimes it is a little bit difficult to know for sure if they're actually dead or not, because their death animations sometimes are just way too long.
I've done terrible things.
The death animation...
Yeah, they're not like the fat one where it just explodes. You know for sure it's dead.
Right? That'd be convenient if all of them did that, so you would just know. Because those regular molded, they're not only is their death animation like sometimes kind of long, which makes it a little bit difficult to tell if they're actually dead or not. Their death animation looks like them just like about to stand back up. So like, it's really hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah. Also, no curse words, Chris. This is supposed to be family friendly.
I'm sorry?
I was listening to the stream and Chris just cursed. It's not okay.
Alright. So basically now we just have to make our way to the final confrontation with Lucas.
We managed to intercept an email Lucas just sent out. Listen to this.
And on our way there, we're going to see one little feature that is basically a console exclusive. PC players don't really have to worry about this. I think Xbox players don't really have to worry about it. And it's this right here. This black loading screen. If you remember that red door from earlier, basically the same thing, except for there's no door right there. Basically, the way that PlayStation handles loading assets in before you get to the area that they're in, the game actually needs to finish loading all of this by the time we get here. So that's why that happens. And as far as I know, it's really only a problem for PlayStation runners. So, yay.
How the hell are you still alive? You should be dead.
We got your emails. We know you're funneling info to someone.
That's none of your goddamn business.
And now, we don't really need any of this. All we needed were the two little piles of ramrods that we picked up, but we can't really speed this part up.
You're about to have your hand.
We just kind of have to let it play out. Sometimes I try to make it a game. I just run around and see if I can pick up everything in this room before Lucas pops up.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, when you run a game enough, sometimes you just gotta find ways to entertain yourself.
Right? That's like at the very beginning, that elevator, where I was explaining like why we move those two items in the inventory. During a run, I usually will just sit there and I just keep like slashing at the elevator door with the knife. 'Cause you can also, like, you can actually, like, spin the knife around, or, like, kind of flip the knife around in your hand and all that, and so I'll,
when
like,
you're
sit there and I'll
doing
do that and, like, stab at the door.
Oh, that's different.
Just gotta find, like, those
since
little
we got
things
here.
to entertain yourself during the downtime, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so for this fight, there's going to be 3 stages. First stage starts, basically, he's going to fall out of that little cocoon. He's going to have some iframes for a second, and then the fight actually starts. He's going to jump up there at the end of this phase, so we just try to push him over to it if we can. Wait for the iframes to disappear. Okay, about there. And we shoot him in the face with the ramrods to expose his heart. And we just go to town on his heart. That's good. And we just kind of give him 1 for good luck. Stand in this corner. He's going to jump down. This will start phase 2.
The air contamination is going off the charts. Kill the air tank user.
Thanks for the advice.
And I think he's gonna jump up for phase 3. And this should be basically the end shortly after he jumps down.
I'm starting to run low on oxygen.
Uh-oh. We ran out of shotgun ammo. Again. This is not how this fight's supposed to go. That is probably the worst Lucas fight I have had in quite some time. So
Yeah,
round
it's a very
2.
tough fight.
Yeah.
It's a very tough fight because you have so limited ammo and everything is like very precisely coordinated.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Try this again. Just kind of push him into position. Wait for the iframes. That should be good. It is. Just in case. Oh, that's... I thought that was shotgun ammo. Shotgun ammo over there, though.
The air contamination is going off the charts. Kill that thing before your air tank gives out.
Thanks for the advice.
See. Oh, he jumped up. That's good. That's what we wanted him to do. There we go. Okay. So time will end as soon as the screen turns black here in just a second. And time.
So our final time was 27:20.
Ooh, not bad. But yeah, so that is a little over what I estimated. but yeah, so that was Resident Evil 7, Not a Hero, and like I said, it's the free canonical DLC for Resident Evil 7. So if you already have Resident Evil 7, you can download this for free and give it a try yourself. Highly, highly recommend. But yeah, so I think that's
Yeah, it's got a
what's that?
got a very warm and welcoming community, and
Oh,
I have to say,
yes.
even though Lucas was a jerk in that that fight, I mean, you did that bomb room was so clean. It was.
Oh, thank you.
And that is probably the hardest part of the run because you make one pixel, like you stand up a pixel too early, boom, just end of run right there.
Yeah, that
So that was insane.
That bomb room can ruin your day real fast. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was we made some mistakes, but think we accurately showed the run off, so I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, so thank you thank you for giving me this opportunity to showcase this game, and thank you for the lovely hosting. Do appreciate it. And yeah, so everyone, check out the game. Be sure to check out the RA7 community in general. It is a pretty cool community. So
yeah, thank you for being with us once again for another one of our events. We do hope that you will join us again in the future with future events upcoming.
Oh, for sure.
It'll be great. Good run and everything. So we have Osborne coming up next with Anti-Chamber 100%. We will be transitioning now, and we'll see you all in a few minutes. God damn it, right? You're muted. Um,
is more precious in these situations because you know you don't have a lot of it.
Initially, you don't know if there is time. If there is time, how much time?
We have to make every moment count, really. Every minute, every breath.
Our life is tough.
It's difficult to go away from the sadness.
And sometimes it feels like I'm not able to cope.
Each family is very unique, so the support that we offer is really based around choice.
We're led by them, really, and it's important that we are here and able to listen to what they need.
Haven House are there for every time. They've been there for all the highs and all the lows.
I help Mummy with the cooking.
Wow.
Just having that respite care and knowing that we can regularly come here, I can't tell you how amazing that is.
Without them, I think I would probably feel depressed and guilty as a mother and a bit more worthless.
They've enabled us to see the whole picture and not be scared of it.
They're always there for you and they're always there to support you.
We all now understand more and cope better because we know there's a support network in Haven House.
Every hour of care counts to families, and every hour fundraising means we can continue to be here for them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to help families through unimaginable times or to help them smile again.
Peggy 18.
Is anyone there?
PlayStation back on all those times when I felt closed off from all that I could become. Eager but too scared to climb. Wanted to please my friends, but it felt like the end on myself. I was shut down and all drained out. I was lost, so I had to change. Yeah, I shook off all the bad vibes, cut me loose from the pettiness they turned on me. But now I am perfectly free to be me. This is who I am. This is who I am now. No matter what they're saying, this is who I am. This is who I am now. They think that I have lost my mind, that I'm not being true, but they don't have